What's up, guys? It's the next Mike Ike, and I'm coming back at you with another Warhammer 40k Tacticus video. In today's video, we are going to continue our Season Arena reports, and for this video, we have Season 7, the report for Season 7. So, let's just jump right into it. We do have a new character on this list, but just barely, and other than that, the list really hasn't changed, just the order of the characters, so should be a rather quick report this week, but let's jump into it. So we actually had a tie for 10th place, and this is where the new character jumped in, but it only saw 3 uses, and that was Makotep. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but the basic Necron guy, the Royal Warden that we get. And if we look at him, why I think he's being used, I think mainly it's for his passive, where he gives +1 movement to your guys, and then it restores some health if it's a mechanical unit. But other than that, like, he has a range 3 attack, so that's pretty decent, but its damage isn't doesn't blow you away. He does have a nice active ability if you're playing with other summons, so maybe that's also part of why he's being used. But again, only saw 3 uses per 25 teams this week and just barely made it. So I don't think I'd get used to seeing him in the top 10. He'll probably fall right back out. However, I will say this. I know this is about regular arena and not live arena. He is actually extremely useful in live arena. So there's also the fact that people are probably building him for that, and so using him occasionally in regular arena. All right, coming in at number 10, in the same spot he was last week with 3 uses again, is Tigarius. Again, same reasons. He's got a nice passive ability. He's the first character you get in the game, so a lot of people have him built to a decently high level. His AoE attack is decent. He is psychic, or a psyker, so his psychic damage does have nice pierce on it, so it deals with armor pretty well. Again, another character that is probably just going to eventually fall off. Alright, and then, interesting enough, the next 5 characters all are tied. So this is 5th through 9th place, all tied with 5 uses. So just keep that in mind as we go through these characters. I will say this week very much so seemed like the big 3 are being used. The 4th place character was used decent amount, and then the rest was just kind of fill in, and that's why the uses are so low for everybody else besides like the big 3 and then number 4. So coming in at number 9, but with 1 more use than he had last week, is Boss Golgorts. Again, we know why he's here. Or really, we don't know why he's here. I keep saying that. Live Arena, definitely useful. I think he's here right now just because people get him unlocked at a decent level. But I think he does eventually fall off, and the last few seasons kind of have shown that. Eventually he falls off. His active ability is nice, but not really useful if you position well. In regular arena. In live arena, very useful, but in regular arena, I just don't think he brings much to the table, and that's why he's at the bottom of this list, just like he was last week. Coming in at number 8, again with 5 uses, this is down 2 uses from last week, is Roswitha. Again, same reasons. She's hanging on. She's a good counter to the number 1 or number 2 unit in the game, character in the game, in Archimedos. She deals well with Psychers. Tigarius is still hanging on, so you're seeing him too. And she also does a lot of good damage in Guild Raid, so I think people are building her for that, and then still just because she does have kind of like a counter to Archimedos, are using her in Arena. So that's Roswitha coming in at number 8, really tied for number 5 with 5 uses. Cracking the list, I'm sorry, we did have one crack the list for the first time ever, and this was not a surprise to me, is Celestine. Okay, so I don't have her unlocked, unfortunately, but basically she is really squishy, except she's not, and what I mean by that is when you hit her, she has this nice little passive where she summons basically a summon. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. And she could do it twice per battle, and basically that summons comes in. And it triggers this. So the damage is done to the summons instead of her. So she takes at least 3 hits to deal with. And then she has the ability where from the second round, she may move to any hex adjacent to an enemy and attack that enemy in melee. She gets +5 damage during that normal attack. Again, this is at base level. So basically, she can jump around, hit anything she wants. Not surprised, a lot of people consider her probably the best legendary in the game right now, even though this is her first time cracking the list. Again, with only an average of 5 uses, I just think this is more of people are finally getting her unlocked, especially this week more than any week in Arena. It kind of seemed like I was with the big whales, and so the whales that are spending money on this game are using her. She is one of the ones that the whales are really focusing on. So not surprised to see her finally crack the list. I don't know if she'll continue to stay in the list. Kind of depends on what group of people I end up playing with. Sorry about that. Whether she stays, relevant or not. But I think if you're up at the very top and playing against the whales, she will be relevant. And as people slowly grind her out, she'll continue to see more uses, I believe. All right, coming in at number 6, same thing, really tied for 5th with 5 uses. Really a big drop-off, and I was kind of surprised by this, was Calendus. Last week, Calendus ended up being number 4 with 12 uses, down to 5 uses this week. Again, I don't know whether this is just a product of me being in a group that really seemed to be whale-focused this week, and the whales just not really spending the time to build her up, or whether she kind of maybe falls off at the top level. She is kind of RNG based, right? Like, she really needs to crit, and that crit is only 61% of the time, or, well, at least on mine is 61%. You probably can get it slightly higher, but still, so like 2 out of every 3 times she's gonna crit, and then once she's not gonna crit, and maybe people just don't like that RNG, and maybe that's why the whales aren't really using her. But I was really surprised to see her fall off. I mean, she is a mainstay on my team, actually. She's my highest built character right now. So she's going to be in my team for a while. Kind of surprised to see her fall off this week. We'll see if she rebounds next week. Coming in 5th, and the last with 5 uses, and the main legendary that's been staying in the top 10 pretty much every week, Morven Val. We know why she's here. Really good AoE damage, and that's why she's here. Range 3 AoE damage. She hits like a truck. She can really put out some damage. Again, live arena, I've heard she's not very good, but in real arena, she is good. And again, guys, the big whales have her built, and they're using her along with Celestine, and then the top 3. That seems to be the main team for the big whales is Celestine, Roswitha. Pretty much every time I saw a Celestine, a Morven Val, not Roswitha. Every time I saw a Celestine, I pretty much saw a Morven Val. She was actually used slightly more than Celestine. It just so happens when we do this, I round down or up depending on what the uses come out. So I think overall she saw like 1 or 2 more uses throughout the week than Celestine did. But when it came time to do the math, it ended up being, average out to 5 uses. So again, she is a really good character. Not surprised to see her continue to stay in the top 10. So then we start to move up and start to get into the top 4. Number 4 was Harkin. Good to see him rebound. Last week he was in 5th, dropped to 5th, 8 uses. This week back up to 11 uses. Sorry, that's Abaddon. Harkin. Again, the whales were building him as well, so not really surprised to see him bounce back up. He's a good toolkit. He does everything well. He doesn't do anything super great, except maybe movement. His movement's his big thing, but everywhere else, he has good piercing for armor, decent damage on a multi-hit, and then you attack that on with a decent active ability and, you know, you got yourself a good character. So Harkin back up into the number 4 spot. Not surprised by that at all. Then we get to the big 3, guys. It's going to be the same 3 every week. You're probably tired of hearing about it. And again, until they change summons or nerf summons, this is probably going to remain to be true. And yes, the whales are building and using these characters as well. Aleph Null came in with 20 uses for the week. I'm not going to go over these characters, guys. We've went over these characters, what is this, week 4 that I'm doing this report, so I'm not going to really dig into these, just go into the uses. Aleph Null, 20 uses, and then basically tied for first was Archimedos and Yarick. Same old, guys. Same reasons. Summon's really powerful. Archimedos and Yarick kind of go back and forth. Last week, Archimedos was first with 23 uses, and Yarick was second with 20 uses. This week, they both came in, ended up averaging out 24, but Yarick did see like 1 or 2 more uses. In fact, he was like 1 use away from averaging, you know, being used in every single team. Actually, the first 2 data points I used, he was used in every team, and then like the next couple he fell off a use or 2, but still everybody that has Yarick is using Yarick, and you should be as well. And with that, guys, that's going to be the end of this season arena report. I told you these would start to go a little faster. Sorry, now y'all saw what's on my home screen there. So with that, guys, I did want to mention that my 100 sub giveaway has ended, and if you're waiting for that video should be out either later today or tomorrow with who ended up winning that. I haven't actually done it yet, so we're going to do it on the video so we can keep everything fair and you can see. I'm just trying to figure out how to do one of those like comment selectors. Last time I put it into one of those wheels, and this time I have over 50 entries, so that would take me forever to do. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it easier, and I know there's a way that I can do like a comment selection, so that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. But anyway, we'll get that done and post it. And with that, guys, we are at 155 subs at the time of this video, so we have continued to just go right past that 100 subs, and I thank you guys all for the support and watching my videos. With that being said, our next giveaway will be at, shocker, 250 subs. So we're a little bit less than 100 subs away from that. So if we can keep this momentum going, hopefully that's only a week or 2 before we end up doing the giveaway for that. But that's all up to you guys. And as always, guys, with that, please like my videos. Subscribe if you're not. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think I could work on, and, you know, any other feedback you guys have. And as always, guys, with that, thank you for watching my videos, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.